Hello there, and thank you for joining us. My name is Michael Riley, founder of Guitar Addict Products, and welcome to this short video introduction to the Fretboard Addict franchise. Fretboard Addict is a fretboard trainer type app for your iOS device that runs on your iPhone, your iPad, or your iPod Touch. In this video demonstration, I'm going to show you the features and how the app works. I'm going to be demoing the app on the iPhone with our flagship product, the Super Guitar Fretboard Addict Bundle, which basically bundles all our instruments that we offer into one convenient app. So let's go ahead and get started. Instruments that we offer are acoustic guitar, electric guitar, 4 and 5 string bass, and the ukulele. It's easy to get started. We can simply touch the feature tab. We can select the feature that we want to work on, notes, chords, or solo, and we have two different types of exercises. We have custom exercises where you create your own exercise, and this helps you to really tailor the app to your learning style. And we also have 11 key exercises that are built in. These will basically work your way around the circle of fifths, adding sharps or flats incrementally, which gives you a nice, intelligent way to learn the fretboard. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's available for building your custom exercises. When you touch the Play tab, you're presented a fretboard setup screen. This is where you can configure the fretboard for the notes that you'd like to work on. And we have two different ways to configure the fretboard. We have preset buttons on the right side here. We can select keys. So I simply touch the key button, then use the picker wheel to select the key, and it highlights the notes in that key in blue. Similarly, I can select notes incrementally, and everything is appended, so you can select multiple variations of notes. I can also select different fret groupings very easily, and I can also select by string. And the other way, which is really convenient as well, is you just touch the note that you're interested in. So if I want to work on a variety of notes, or a scale or a solo that I'm working on, I can just select the notes here, and if I want to toggle strings, I can hit the open string and it will toggle those notes on or off. So once I get my fretboard set up, I can also either hit play to get started, or I can go and configure additional options. And I just touch the options tab here. You can configure the time. You can either have a fixed time or you can have unlimited time for playing. You can choose whether to show the correct answer if you get it wrong. And we have our smart learning engine in here. If you get an incorrect answer, this will go back to that incorrect note after you've completed a round, so you can intelligently work on the fretboard and cover all the notes that you're interested in before moving on. We have different game types here. We can learn fret note names and also fret positions. And one thing I like to point out here is all the descriptions for these options are these little I help buttons that we have throughout the app. These are great little quick help tools to inform you on what the option or feature is. Additional learning methods we have: we can learn the fretboard horizontally or vertically. We call this strings and frets, strings being vertically, frets being horizontal. You can select the enharmonic, the sharp or flat of a note. You can learn the fretboard forward, backwards, or in a random fashion. And you can choose between English and Romance syllable types. This will be of particular interest to our European customers or other countries that use the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, si notation. You can select between left and right-handed fretboard, and you can toggle sound, ear training, and also standard music notation on or off. So that's kind of a crash course on the options tab. So we're all set up. We touch play, and we hear the guitar sound, and we're given some information on the right side here. And simply we're given fret 0, note E. So the object is simple. We need to find this on the fretboard and touch it. So I heard a high E sound, so I'm going to touch this one here. B, G, A, E. And notice we have the standard music notation down here, so you can also improve your sight reading skills. Some other statistics that we give here are right and wrong answers, and we give the game time here. When you get an answer right, it's green. When you get an answer wrong, it turns red. We'll get one wrong here. We have that answer option turned on, so it shows the correct answer for us. Okay, so what I wanted to show you next was the color code statistics. So after you complete your custom exercise, you can go back and see how you did by looking at your score. At the end of the round, it will tell you your running average, how many you got right, how many you got wrong. And then we can look at these colors here and give us an indication of how we did as well over time. So blue means that we haven't covered it. Red means that less than 60% correct, and green means greater than 80%. So it gives you a good indication of how you're doing and what areas you need to work on. There's also an iHelp button here to explain how to set this up. So let's take a look at the chords custom exercises. So we have a similar setup screen with a few additional buttons here, and we're working on triad chords here. So these are chords of 3 notes. We have a string pair preset buttons here for selecting different string pairs. We have a clear button so we can configure a bunch of chords, and if we want to clear the fretboard, we just hit clear. It's very convenient. Every chord that you enter on this setup is appended, so if you enter a lot of chords on here, it can look a bit messy on which chords they are, but the app does keep track of which chords you have entered, so when you go to the play mode, you will be working on each of those chords. We also have an inversion key. The inversions are the different permutations of moving the root note of the chord around. We have 3 different permutations of that. You can also select all inversions. You can configure chord types. Major, minor, diminished, and augmented chords are our choices for triads. And you can also configure by root note. So I can just select different root notes. And notice at the top here, the chord name is given. Now we can also configure the fretboard by touching. So if I have my chord type and inversion selected, I can simply just go over here and touch, and it's going to show me on the fretboard where that chord is. We have a real-time chord engine that computes all this, so it's really really convenient to just go in here and touch. You can select different string pairs and everything. So if you have a song that you're working on, and you can try and enter some of the chords in here and work on it that way as well. So let's go ahead and select a key exercise, and we're on forwards mode. Okay. We hit play. You hear the chord strummed, and we're given some additional information on the right side here this time. We still have our string and note information here, and we also now have chord name and inversion. So this tells you the chord and the inversion that we're working on. So I select C, and then you hear the note play if you get it right. So I got that one wrong. It shows me what I hit and what the correct answer is. We also have the standard music notation for the notes and the same statistic information. So that's pretty cool. The next thing I wanted to show you was the ear training modes for each of the features. This will help you to train your ear for correlating pitch on the fretboard and helping you to recognize notes and intervals and key relationships. Let's start with the notes feature, and let's just select key as C. So now notice that for our note here we have a question mark, and the goal is simple: figure out that note. For chords, we have something similar as well. Go ahead and clear that. We'll do string 1, 2, 3. The chord is strummed and then arpeggiated. So that's how the ear training works in that. Let's take a look at the other game type. We looked at the note to fret game type. Let's look at the fret to note. So for chords, let's turn ear training off here. For chords, now we're given a position on the fretboard and we need to figure out the notes. So we're training our mind to think the other way now. And similarly for notes, set key of C, given a question mark, and we just have to figure out the note. Okay, so I think now you have an idea of what you can accomplish with the custom exercise mode. Let's take a look at the built-in exercises. What we've done here is we've taken the best of the Fretboard Addict engine and combined it into these built-in exercises. So what you get is you don't have to configure any options or anything. The exercises are pre-set up around each key, and when you complete them, you will have exercised the fretboard horizontally, vertically, forwards, backwards, in a random fashion. There's some ear training exercises built in, so you will know that key inside and out when you finish the exercise. The exercise can take some time to complete, so you don't have to complete it all in one shot. That's the nice thing about this app is, it's suggested to play it 5 minutes a day, and you really will improve your skills a lot just by playing that amount of time. But the great thing of iOS, resume and multitasking, you can come back to things at your leisure. So when you're on the built-in exercise, it tells you where you're at in the exercise up in the round section, and also it gives you a running average during the exercise to see how you're doing. So I'll go through a fret or two here just to kind of show you how they progress. So we're starting forwards here. And now we switch to the other game type here. Now we're going backwards. Now we're going randomly. Now we're randomly figuring out the note. And now we're doing ear training for this fret. And ear training's randomly. So we completed the first fret 0 there. Now we move on to fret 1. And so the exercise progresses in that fashion. When you finish all the frets, then you go vertically by string. And so you can do that for each key. And as you start adding sharps and flats, you'll find the exercises get more challenging. These appeal to players of all levels, from the bare bones beginner all the way to the advanced player. So our final feature is the solo feature. This is what kind of puts it all together and just kind of lets you freestyle play, relax, create some music, work on what you've been learning. We put the notes preset buttons in here so you can highlight notes. Same way you can select multiple buttons so you can try and play chords. You can play scales. You can do soloing. But it's very responsive. So I think you'll enjoy using this as a practice tool.